Hello and welcome back to The Diner for this edition of Burgers and Fries, a podcast where we talk mainly pop culture, sometimes nostalgic stuff, sometimes politics, really just what we feel like talking about. So, what are we talking about this time, Greg?
We're talking about the Kansas City shooting that happened after the Kansas City Chiefs won the game.
Okay, so it wasn't actually at the Super Bowl, it was at the victory parade, right?
Yes.
Okay, just in case people might think, oh my God, there was a shooting at the Super Bowl. No, that's not what's going on. So the Chiefs had, of course, a victory parade, like all major professional sports teams do. I've actually been to one myself, not as Chiefs one, but when the Kings won the Stanley Cup in 2014, I got to see the Kings victory rally over there in downtown. So I do know what events like those are like. So you can imagine there's just a lot of people that are there. And you can also think all it takes is just one motherfucker to fuck things up and instantly you have a tragic story, right?
Yes.
So what is it that you know about this Super Bowl parade shooting, Greg?
Well, it wasn't done by two white guys or anything.
That's true. It definitely was not done by two white guys. And we don't want to sound like we're racist, but these are literally facts that we're trying to say.
Yeah.
Also, we're not necessarily going to be going over the shooting itself, but we're actually going to be talking more about the stupid media reaction to it. Just kind of seems to be their approach nowadays. And wherever your political alliances lie, it's hard not to see their bias when it comes to how they report who does these shootings or who does these incidents. And don't get us wrong, folks. Our hearts do go out to those who were there and had to experience the horror. In fact, one of my in-laws' relatives was there when it happened. She was there to celebrate. Yeah, absolutely. You can see on her Facebook post that she was ready to celebrate. She's like, oh yeah, it's such a joyous occasion. And then the next post, what started out great turned into horror. And she actually had cell phone video footage of people evacuating and running away. So I do know somebody who was there. And thank goodness that she was not the person who got hurt. Unfortunately, one person did get killed and 22 other people got injured, including 11 kids. So it fucking sucks what happened. We agree 100% with that. Here is what we pretty much know. Ready for this, Greg?
Yes.
All right. Witnesses who were nearby reportedly heard an altercation before, with a woman reportedly saying, no, not now. This isn't the place.
Seriously?
That is what I've been reading, according to what it says on Wikipedia. I'm not saying that Wikipedia is a source, but there's been allegedly that somebody saw the confrontation taking place and said, hey, tried to stop it or whatever. Now, just a few days ago, as reported on the Daily Mail, one of the suspects, who has been named Lindell Mays, admitted to the detectives that he pretty much, quote, just pulled his gun out and started shooting. Now, Greg, get this. You know what the cause of this guy to just pull his gun out was?
It was at a gun-free zone?
No. I'm going to demonstrate to you right now what this confrontation was. Ready, Greg?
Ready.
Hey, Greg, what you looking at?
I don't know. What you looking at?
What you looking at, fool?
Hey, I don't know. What you looking at, fool?
What you looking at?
What you looking at?
What you all staring at me for? What you looking at?
I don't know. What you looking at?
Pop, 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 pop. That's literally the fucking confrontation.
Seriously?
Seriously. That's what this guy confessed to doing. This caused a shooting at a victory parade for the Kansas City Chiefs. This. Anybody that thought, oh, this is domestic terrorism. No, I initially thought it was gang violence. Turns out it wasn't. So no, it was not people mad that Taylor Swift was dating Travis Kelce. I guarantee you there was not one person at that parade that's mad about Taylor Swift. This was literally the result of people who just chose to shoot at each other in close proximity indiscriminately with thousands of people around them.
Jeez.
And unfortunately, lots of people got caught in the crossfires and got hit by stray bullets.
So
So, Greg, do you know what the textbook definition of a mass shooting is?
No.
So it's basically defined as 3 or more killings in a single incident. And I believe that actually the number went down. I believe the number used to be up. But then last I checked, the definition was 3 or more killings in a single incident. And how many people died in this incident, Greg?
Only one.
So why the fuck are they labeling this a mass shooting?
Oh my God, white supremacy.
That's exactly. They want it to be a mass shooting. They want it to be at the fault of Republicans or the NRA. This is not. I'm sorry, folks. This was not a mass shooting. Not even close. Yeah, 22 people got injured, but these guys didn't intend to injure the people. You have to think the Las Vegas and October 1st Route 91 thing. The guy who shot up the festival from the top of a casino. Think about the Muslim terrorists at nightclubs. Think about the school shootings that have been happening. Those are mass shootings. This was not.
Yep.
So would you agree, Greg, that, look, given the circumstances, even with 600 armed police officers being staffed there to protect the peace, if these trigger-happy assholes really wanted to cause havoc and intentionally murder dozens of people in cold blood, they would have. You saw that, Greg, where people that were thinking, oh my God, it's gun control, it's MAGA. Like they were initially just pointing their fingers at others, hoping something would stick.
Yep. Including some guy on TikTok that kept saying something like, oh, we got to vote these MAGA Republicans out of the country.
Oh my. In response to this shooting, that's what they said?
Well, one individual.
Okay. But still, now that it has come out that these 2 suspects were African-American men who decided to shoot indiscriminately, haven't you noticed that the media has now gone quiet?
Yep.
Man. Wasn't gang violence. It was what you looking at.
Yep. What you looking at.
Oh my God. All right, so Greg, I'm going to show you this little clip that was on Bill Maher's show recently. Let's play this clip, Johnny.
I mean, we don't know who did this shooting, by the way, the Super Bowl shooting.
We have some idea.
What?
If it were a white man shooting, we'd know.
Well, we don't know, but they haven't.
That's how we know it's not a white man. I can tell you that much.
Do you think they were repressing that reporting?
They wouldn't tell us about the transgender woman that shot up the Christian school for what, like a year? San Bernardino out here. Remember the crazy terrorist Muslims? That's when I first noticed, they're not telling us who it is. It's not a white male. The longer they go without telling you, it's not a white male.
Okay, well, for this one, for right now, as of Friday night, February 16th.
We know.
We don't officially know. Okay, you know, you have special powers. But
in that clip, you essentially have Ann Coulter saying that, the reason why the news hasn't revealed the identities of these shooters yet, or why it hasn't immediately come out when other times it has come out almost immediately, her claim is because it was not a white person. If it was a white man, they'd immediately know. But the longer this goes on, that's how we know that the shooter was not a white man. That's what Ann Coulter said on Bill Maher's recent show.
Yep.
You can criticize what she's saying. You can say, oh my God, that's terrible of her to say. But is she really wrong? By the time of this clip, we already had photos released of the suspects. We already knew that the suspects were most likely young black men. There were already photos released of it.
And one of them being stabbed in the cheek.
Now, where did you hear that?
It was some sort of, a clip I saw from YouTube.
It's very possible. In fact, the only other things that apparently ways that people are finding out who these people were is because their mothers were setting up GoFundMe for their hospital bills.
Hospital bills?
So these people that committed the shootings, again, were also shot at each other. So these relatives were raising GoFundMes for their hospital bills. Oh no, will somebody think of the people who shot up a Super Bowl parade? But at the time, do you remember that there were media claims? Oh, we can't release the IDs of these shooters because they're juvenile.
That seems stupid.
Remember Kyle Rittenhouse?
Guy that shot a child molester and a rapist.
And a domestic abuser, also known as a Kenosha hat trick.
Don't know that one.
But the media almost immediately released the name of Kyle Rittenhouse. And again, he was 17. He was a minor. And they also falsely claimed that he shot 3 black men at the scene, when in fact the people that he shot were not black. But already, because of all the false claims, you had all these people witch hunting on him and calling for Kyle Rittenhouse's blood and wanting this guy to be sent to prison. So they picked on a 17-year-old because it fit their narrative, right?
Right.
Now, what about Nick Sandmann? Remember who this kid was?
Who is he?
The smiling MAGA hat kid. There's the still of the kid in the MAGA hat, and then there's a Native American confronting him.
Oh, now I know who you're talking about.
And yeah, I remember those posts claiming that, oh my God, Sandmann was harassing this poor old Native American, Nathan Phillips, who claimed to be a Vietnam veteran. All of that was proven false, including the kind of service that Nathan Phillips did. And as it turns out, it was Phillips who approached Sandmann and went after him, not the other way around, like the media initially portrayed it to be.
Eesh.
And then recently, you had people doing a witch hunt on a 9-year-old Kansas City Chiefs fan who did face paint, and they accused him of wearing blackface just because he had half red, half black on his face. He was sporting Kansas City Chiefs colors. Yeah, you've heard about that.
Yep.
Like, people are fucking ridiculous. Like, and then they instantly revealed the identity of the 9-year-old. A fucking 9-year-old.
Yep. And as I do recall, it's supposed to be have native heritage in his blood.
Yes, according to his mother, he does have native blood in his system. But Jesus Christ, like, are we retroactively going to accuse the Seinfeld character David Puddy from 30 years ago for being a racist because of him painting his face in New Jersey Devil colors?
No.
No, you know somebody's going to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and again, the ages of the suspects, Lindell Mays and Dominic Miller, you know how old they were?
Nope.
23 and 18. They're not fucking minors. That's where you get Ann Coulter going, why did it take so long to get their identities out? What are you pushing here? But there's also 2 juveniles that they keep saying, oh no, we have to keep their identities secret. We have to protect their privacy. Really? Where was that approach to Nick Sandmann and Kyle Rittenhouse and the 9-year-old who was just sporting face paint?
Nowhere.
Yeah. You have to have the standard across the board. It has to go both ways. And again, she in that clip, she mentioned the shooter from Nashville, the one who shot up the Christian school. It's still, almost a year later, has not fully come out what that manifesto said. And then remember the Waukesha incident where the man drove an SUV through a crowd of people during a Christmas parade?
Oh, yeah.
There was almost nothing being reported on the racial identity of Daryl Edward Brooks. In fact, even the headlines were saying, vehicle takes 6 people's lives. Wait, who's driving the vehicle then? And we don't want it to be like this. We want it to be held accountable across the board. If it was a white guy killing a black guy, fine, report it. If it was the other way around, report it the same way. Treat it the same way. Because murder is murder.
Yep.
And then again, you have people that are, oh my God, we need more gun control. Turns out Mays was found with a stolen gun. So I ask you, Greg, what amount of gun control would have stopped him from stealing a gun?
Nope. It wouldn't.
Nothing. He also had a prior gun-related conviction. Thus, last time I checked, should not have been able to possess a firearm legally, right?
Right.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. What amount of gun control would have stopped these other juvenile criminals from having guns on them and pulling their gun on the 23-year-old Mays?
Nope.
None of it. At the end of the day, again, if it's a white supremacist shooting up a black church, that's horrible. If it's a Muslim couple shooting up a nightclub, horrible, evil. Or if it's a person at a Chiefs parade that shoots another person and then it kills one person and injures dozens others, it's still wrong. It should be condemned to the fullest, no matter what race it is. And that's all middle of the road people are asking for.
Yep.
So otherwise, if they're going to continue this bias, all right, when it comes to the media, if and culture is just going to continue to be proven right, then you're just going to have a more growing number of people who consider themselves middle of the road politically to just not trust what the media reports. But and if you agree with us, you disagree with us, all right, please feel free to list your reactions, your thoughts in the comment section below. If you want to talk to myself directly, the links to the Discord server are in the description below. Now, the diner is closed. I'm Desert Couch 22. Thanks for listening.